Hello everybody, my name is KidLot44. Welcome back to my channel dedicated to the Nintendo Wii U and Call of Duty Black Ops 2. And in this video I'm going to teach you guys how to get the most optimal control settings for Modern Warfare 3 Wii Remote. We all know how important control settings are because if they're good, you're going to do really well in the battlefield. However, if they're not so good, you're going to do really poorly, but that's why I'm here to help for you guys to get the most optimal control settings. Again, this is also a start of videos that are more purposeful, more meaningful, tutorial-based, informational videos so you can guys get some use out of them. So I hope you guys enjoy this. We're going to start with Modern Warfare 3 Wii Remote controls. First thing is in the sensitivity menu. There's a lot of different things that you need to change. However, we're going to go through them one by one. So this first set, these first four are speeds: horizontal speed, vertical speed, horizontal speed ADS, and vertical speed ADS. These are very simple. It just dictates how fast the camera rotates. So you can see here my horizontal speed is very fast. I turn really fast. However, if I go back into the menu and turn it all the way down, you can see that I'm turning really slow. So this is very bad. If someone's coming around that corner and goes behind you, it's going to take you a long time to turn around and kill them. So I would always recommend that you have this really high so you can circle strafe people as well and turn really fast. As you can see here, if someone is right here, I can turn, circle strafe, and take that person out really quickly. So I would also recommend that you put those to high values so you can turn really fast. The next one we have are dead zones. This is also very important. You can pretty much create a box for yourself. You see that box on the screen. Remember that when I go back into the game, when I'm inside that box, when my cursor is inside that box, my camera will not rotate out at all. However, if I move outside the box, I start turning around and around, but if I start going inside the box again, I don't turn at all. So a lot of people like to put their dead zones really high so they can, you know, shoot things really fast, like these windows. See, pretty much simple business right there. Your screen is not moving, so shooting these is a lot easier. However, I personally like to put these at minimum so I can, you know, not be hampered by a box, so I can actually move my cursor all the way around without being impaired. See? Turn around very smoothly. I can also shoot these boxes pretty efficiently as well. Again, it's up to preference, and I'm going to teach you guys how to kind of adjust that later on. So that's the speeds, that's the dead zones. The next things are sensitivities. These last two are not really important because it's just scope and turret sensitivity. These three are really important though, and the first one I'm going to be talking about is cursor sensitivity. It adjusts how the cursor responds to your natural hand movements. Obviously you want this to maximum because the game reads your hand movements of the Wii Remote more accurately. As you can see here, I can shoot these windows a lot easier and make figure eights around these windows a lot easier as well. If we go back into the menu though and turn it all the way down, you're going to see the change right here. It's very laggy. It's not as responsive. I can't hit these windows anymore. I can't make that figure eight really accurately. So it's pretty much a given that you would probably want to put this at maximum just so the game reads your hand movements a lot more better. So that's pretty much it for cursor sensitivity. The next one is cursor speed. It adjusts how quickly the cursor responds to pointer movement. So if you put this at a maximum, the game reads your cursor movements more responsively, but also if you put it too high, it gets a lot more wobbly. As you can see here, I can't really control anything, and I overcompensate a lot. I'm using the same kind of movements left and right, but I'm overcompensating every time in those top two windows. It makes aiming really hard, so I would also put this to a minimum. And basically you would probably want to change this at the last as the last thing you want to change, because again, this is just kind of fine-tunements for cursor speed. Going back to the last thing though is camera sensitivity. This adjusts how quickly the camera responds to cursor movement. So I'll show you right here by putting it to maximum what it does. Going to this corner over here. As you can see here, my cursor is at the center of the screen, and when I move it to the left just a little bit, I turn all the way, but you can see my cursor barely moved to the left at all. However, if you go back and turn this all the way to a minimum, you can see that my dot is directly in the center of the screen, but when I move it to the left, I have to move it a long way before I actually even turn the screen at all. So this is really like crazy movements like that people see, that I see people a lot on YouTube. So I would probably not put this too high. I would probably not put this too low as well. I would probably put it at a medium. There you go, 7 tip marks is what I usually put it at. So that's basically it for all the control settings right there. So now you know what they all do. I'm going to go step by step into what you should change first, and then going to the next thing and to the next thing, so you guys can get your optimal control settings. So going back to the sensitivity menu, the first thing you want, pretty much the first thing to do, is to maximize cursor sensitivity. I already said this. It's very important that the game reads your natural hand movements to the finest. You don't want any kind of lag, so you want to put this to the maximum. That's the first thing. The second thing also would be the speeds. I would just put them to the highest as well. As you can see here, they're all to the maximum, and I can turn really, really fast, but I can also stop on a dime really, really fast as well, as you can see right there. Pretty much the reason you stop on a dime is because of these sensitivity options right here, and also because of the dead zone. So again, I would just put it to maximum and change these dead zones and these two sensitivities afterwards. So that's the first two things: cursor sensitivity to the maximum and speeds to the maximum. The second thing, or the third thing actually, you want to do after that is change your dead zones, because you know everyone is different. Everyone likes to have kind of stabilization of the camera, so you probably should put this, you know, somewhere around there and kind of experiment and move around the map. This is just moving around the map to see if it's comfortable for you. As you can see here, I just don't like it at all. I just can't get used to it. But some people like it, so it's more of a kind of a feeling thing that you have to test for yourself. You know, a lot of people say there's an enemy right there at that brick wall. You can shoot them and quickly flick to the left over to that pillar to kill people. That's what I see a lot of people do on YouTube. However, I think in theory, it's not smart to do that, because say, you know, those two enemies right there at the brick and at the pillar over there, say you kill this dude really quickly, and you know you flick right over there, you actually can't see this person as fast as you could if you do it the other way. For example, shooting there and you flick over there, like that really fast movement makes it so that you can't actually see the opponent. However, if you go to the sensitivity menu and change the dead zone really low and do the exact same thing, I can kill this person, and while I'm moving over there to the left, I can actually see them already on the screen. So the time it takes for me to go from here to the opponent is kind of adjustment, so it makes it a lot easier. So whatever, it's pretty much up to preference. You guys can make it whatever you want. Just make sure you kind of find the right values for you. I like them at minimum, but that's just the third thing that you're going to have to change. And the last two things you're going to have to change is camera sensitivity and cursor speed. Arguably really the most important. I'm going to go over here to show you guys and explain why that is. And basically now I'm going to teach you guys the concept of strafing. Strafing is really important in this game, as well as any first-person shooter, and it's just moving left and right while facing forward, moving left and right with the control stick. It's very important because you want to kind of pop out and shoot as soon as you get, you know, as soon as you get into the line of fire. You kind of want to pop out and shoot like so, because you know that way you give zero I guess possibility, zero reaction time for the opponents to kill you. So there you go, from here to the door is a really good strafing point you can use. Same thing from here to the window, same thing for here to around the corner to the fire. You want that to be really smooth and kind of stiff actually, because you want to kind of, like I said, get the jump on somebody. If someone is coming around that corner right there and you're prepared for them, you can just strafe really easily, and as soon as you get into the line of fire, you can kill them without them even knowing. It's pretty much strafing. That's pretty much what strafing is. You kind of want to get those controls perfect for strafing, and how you do that is you go to the sensitivity menu, and what dictates strafing is this camera sensitivity. If you put it too high, you can't strafe really well. It's all wobbly. Remember that piece of fire over there? It makes it hard for you to hit that fire accurately. It's just jumping all over the place. Let's go back over here, strafe out to the door. It's a little bit harder and a little bit more finicky. It's going all over the place, so you're gonna have to just experiment with this. If it's too finicky for you, go back down and lower it so it's a lot better. And I found that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the best for strafing. So you can just pop out, boom, 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 boom. The fire is pretty much dead at that point. That's pretty much it for strafing. Again, it's really important. It lets you get the jump on people, and also to say, you know, this whole scene right here, there can be enemies from everywhere, over there on that catwalk over there, over here at the window, over there at the door. So If you strafe, you can kind of isolate players one at a time, so you can actually kill them one at a time, so you don't get into a firefight where there's 3 people looking at you. So say here, you can go to the window, excuse me, you can go to the door, shoot the door, and strafe over to the window, and then strafe over to the catwalk to kill everybody without them actually seeing you at once. That's why strafing is very important. It kind of gives you, I guess, the most visibility and the fastest reaction time to kill them, without them actually, you know, having a chance to see you and retaliate. So that's what strafing is pretty much, and that's how you change it with camera sensitivity. And the last thing is cursor speed. So you want to keep this at a minimum. This is just fine-tunements. I like to put it just a little bit just to get more smoothness out of my movements. But that's pretty much it there for hip firing controls. It's pretty much perfect at this point. I mean, you just gotta experiment and try things out, and go through the order that I showed you guys and what to change, and then you'll pretty much get your perfect control settings right there. Doing some more strafing exercises. And so that's pretty much it for hip firing. Now we're going to go to ADS, and so we pretty much set everything up. The last thing you got to do though is go to ADS reach. This pretty much shows how, let's see here, just how far you're moving, can move across the screen while ADSing. So if you put it to the maximum, you can move really far across the screen. However, if you put it to, excuse me, if you put it to the minimum, it actually locks right in the center of the screen. So it's just up to personal preference, as you can see here. I would also keep it to the minimum, however, because the lower it is, the lower your ADS reach. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The lower your ADS reach, the easier the aim assist can work on people. If it's too wobbly, then the aim assist can't help you out a lot. But with the lower ADS reach, you get more stability from your shots. See there? Boom, boom, boom. Also, you're going to want to kind of move your control stick to the opposite. So if you're shooting over here, you kind of want to move that way while moving your cursor to the left. So control stick, cursor, control stick to the right, cursor to the left. So boom, opposite. So you can shoot people a lot better. So again, it's all up to preference. I wouldn't put it too high because aim assist doesn't work, and also stability. It's a lot better to get stability while putting this low. As you can see here, I'm shooting these barrels over here, and I can easily move over to the door and shoot anybody over there. However, if you go over and put it to the maximum, it gets really wobbly, and you can't control it as well. So see, it's really wobbly over here, and see how jumpy and random it goes. You can't really control it all too well. So put it to a minimum again, just pretty much feel it out. That's pretty much it for the control settings right there in terms of sensitivity. 4, 5, 6, 7. My name is Killat44. I hope that was helpful. Until the next video, guys, peace. See you later.